Tyrone Bowman live. Recording artist Halle accuses her ex BF DDG of physical abuse. Let's go to the video from Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Richey. So let's find out what this is all about. This seems to be happening all too frequently. Now everybody is coming out of the woodwork.
Abused. Now, this is coming out as news to her ex-boyfriend, Halle says she was abused. Now, this is coming out as news to her ex-boyfriend, according to his live stream. We're going to get into it. DDG of physical abuse. He has been accused. So put it up full mass. So the griot wrote that singer and Little Mermaid star, Miss Bailey, and her child's father, former partner, DDG, made headlines when the news broke that Miss Bailey was reportedly granted a restraining order against him, her ex-boyfriend. This is called a TPO, temporary restraining order, typically granted on face value, requires DDG, whose legal name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., to stay away from the actress and to stay away from her 1-year-old son, Halo, until a June 6 hearing due to his alleged abusive behavior. According to the actress, there have been times multiple acts of violence took place during the relationship and since the couple's breakup. In her court filings, Bailey not only recounts the content creator calling her the B word in front of their son, but also includes photos of bruises and physical harm he allegedly caused. In docs, she claims things got physical in January, and Ms. Bailey says DDG came over to pick up their son, Halo, and she tried to start a convo with the rapper about a child visitation schedule. The next thing I knew, just a little quote, the next thing I knew, things got physical between us, Bailey said, detailing an incident that reportedly took place in January. Quote, we fought each other, wrestling and tussling. At one point, Daryl was pulling my hair. He then slammed my face on the steering wheel, causing my tooth to get chipped. I then stopped fighting back as I was in a lot of pain, end quote. In the report, Ms. Bailey claims came to a head when Granberry sent her a series of text messages over Mother's Day weekend while she was vacationing with her son. And she was also with her sister, Chloe. The Little Mermaid star alleges DDG accused her of being on the island with an R&B singer. Not with any man out here. I wouldn't do that. I have Halo. Please let me enjoy my Mother's Day in peace. I hope you are okay and feel better soon, Bailey replied. In a previous incident in March, when DDG took his custody page to social media, claiming that Miss Bailey wasn't allowing him to see his son, the actress reported multiple incidents. Quote, whenever he wishes to cause upset, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans, she noted in documents per People magazine. Quote, he claims I'm withholding our son and that I am with other men. He seems to try to set up drama for his fans. He goes live ranting about me and alleges that I am keeping Halo from him. This is false. I have requested a set schedule, which he refuses. There's more. She also alleges that DDG creeped her out in March when he showed up at her home, entered without permission, went to her bedroom, and texted a pic of Miss Bailey's empty bed to her, along with the text, quote, now I know what you've been on, LOL. Miss Bailey says she interpreted the text as DDG accusing her of having sex with other people. And I just got to say, for the record, Miss Bailey, which would be absolutely your prerogative. Absolutely your prerogative. It has nothing to do with that. 4 days later, she claims he really exploded when he came back to her house. Miss Bailey told him she and the baby were sick. She didn't want Halo to leave home, and she claims that's when he got verbally abusive, smashed her Ring camera, and ran away with Miss Bailey's phone. As he drove off, she claims DDG threw the phone out of his window and yelled at her, quote, quote, go get it B word, end quote. The incident prompted Ms. Bailey to go ahead and file a police report. And she says she also has the ring footage to back up her side of the story. According to the judge's orders, DDG must stay 100 yards away from Ms. Bailey and stop posting about her and their sons on social media. The court is also allowing Ms. Bailey to take Halle with her to Italy while she works on her latest film project. Let's put them up. DDG found out about Ms. Bailey's restraining order during a live stream, but did not provide a comment on the matter. However, today, he posted on X, quote, I'm chilling, by the way. I have no worries. Streaming later on. No days off, end quote. Very unfortunate. These are two young individuals. They actually have booming careers, and they may be not good for each other. Nobody was there, so we can't create conclusion, and there's no video that has been made present yet. But I will say this, based on Ms. Bailey's account. The allegations indicate that this individual believes that he can control your movement even though you and him are no longer a couple. He's concerned, according to the allegations, about who you are sleeping with, who you are going to trips with, etc. These things are outside of his wheelhouse of responsibility today. I just want you to be encouraged in your independence. And hopefully, for the sake of the child, you all will be able to, in the future, co-parent if he's able to understand his role as a father more so than anything else on this planet. All right. Jamie, thoughts here?
You know, like I alluded to in the previous story, this is sort of what I do for a living, and I have many cases where people who ought not have had a baby together have had babies together, and, you know, in the closed confines of our offices, we hash some of this stuff out. So the prospect of having to do that aspect in front of millions and tens of millions of people is mind-boggling to me, and my heart goes out to her. I'm not as aware of him as I am of her. But friends of mine, I remember a while ago, before this child was born, they were having like an off and on again kind of situation there. So clearly people who probably should not have enmeshed their lives together now forever, because they now have a child that will need two parents who are stable beings, and it sounds like, at least according to her allegation, he may not be that person. So be careful who you have a baby with, I guess, is the message to the audience, what I would say.
Yeah, and hopefully he has somebody around him. Just because he may not be that person today doesn't mean he cannot become that person later.
People grow, both of them are very young.
That's right, very young people.
If you have a 700 plus credit score.
This is always the case. Fame, riches, wealth, popularity, stardom at an early age. But there's no discipline. There's no structure. There's no accountability. And the old age adage is this: if you can't get along, that means that you're not meant for each other. Sex will not keep a relationship together. Remember that. In order for relationships to work, there must be compatibility. There must be respect. There has to be a mutual respect on both sides. And when people are together, nobody is anybody's mother or anybody's father. Young people got to understand you are not going to train someone like they're a SEAL. And young men have to understand that young women are maturing to become mature women. They have their own mindsets, their own ways, and they're going to do things the way they desire to do them. And y'all just make yourselves look bad with all this violence and cussing and arguing and back and forth and stupidity and ignorance on Instagram and TikTok and chat box or whatever box you all are on. Get it together. Never surrender, never quit.